Oh, yeah, baby. So, welcome to our very first Shine Your Light conversation. This call was previously known as Confidence and Clarity. And I think you know this by now, but as we develop as a group, when new energies come in and old energies feel like they're falling away, we'll always be evolving. And so, this is one of those calls where we're shifting the intention and bringing it to more of a spotlight moment where my intention is that any member that wants to dive in and wants to share your favorite subject in regards to what we're building, anything that would support women, would support sovereignty. If you want to teach a methodology that really works for you, or maybe you even just have like a curiosity of, I'm really been sitting with this concept or philosophy or theory, and I want to bring it to the group. Like you are able to run that moment. You're able to run that call. And I can help as much or as little as you want, but it's really a moment for you to step forward to share what's on your heart. And then also my secret intention is that we all get to know each other a little bit better, and it's a community driven type concept. So I'm actually really excited. Next month we have Nikki she's gonna share some of her beautiful art and projects that she has going on. So if you want to do that, just get with me and I'll get you on the calendar for probably August, right? July, August, all of that. I want to settle in. Let's take a moment and arrive. Let's just take a moment and closing your eyes if it feels really good. We were speaking before we hit record that this truly is the space. Her sovereign way represents the opportunity to arrive as you are. Not polished, not perfect, not in performance, but being able to really give yourself the space and the grace to just breathe into who you are at this moment, because everything is temporary and we don't want to put away things that maybe are uncomfortable too quickly. We want to make space for them, witness them, honor them, thank them. And just taking some slow breaths. Let your attention go down into the hips, down into the pelvic bowl. Let yourself settle into your own body, settling into that belly space. If you are feeling particularly tender, putting your hands on your chest is really helpful. This helps regulate your nervous system. It just creates a good stabilization practice for your experience, right? It brings you back into yourself. Just take a moment for that. That's it. Yeah. If noticing that your field feels like a snow globe that's shook up, it's a real good invitation to just pause and breathe and slow down and let all of that snow that's kind of fluffed up and anxious or stressed, and just letting it float back down to the bottom of your globe into the belly. Just letting yourself be here. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, good. You can open your eyes when you're ready. And obviously hold that as long as you need. I wanted to start the conversation with sort of a back in the day concept of when we started Her Sovereign Way. Because now we're having new members come in, and I just always like to reiterate like what we intended this space to be and how we're moving through it. Um, and now we're almost a year in, which is really mind-blowing to me. We're coming up on our anniversary pretty soon in September, so it's very awesome. But I look back with fondness and I think, ah, look at these plucky kids with their intentions and wanting this ease and wanting to connect. And we didn't really know what we were doing. Even though we had some parameters and I had a dream and I had a vision, but over time, obviously, because her sovereign way feels like a living, breathing space to me. I feel like we're guided every step of the way. And so as we've moved through the months, we've also developed some deeper practices and parameters of what we are becoming in this space as a collective, right? So it started out kind of innocent and lovely and fun and I don't know, just cute and adorable in a way. And then now we've really come into more of a clear view. And for me, it's starting to solidify like what our mission is. And in that, what has come forward is the REST methodology. And this is really, I think, going to be a very strong almost umbrella teaching for everything else that we're going to be doing. Okay. And that's what I want to bring to you today. It's 4 simple steps, but the design of it is immense because it is the foundational teaching that can shift your entire life, even if you just take this one thing on. We do a lot of things here. Everything is invitation. Go with what you feel, guided to do. But this is going to be the one that we'll probably refer back to the most. So REST methodology, R-E-S-T, is designed to help interrupt or disrupt self-abandonment. You hear my cat? Do you hear my cat in the background? He gets lost because he doesn't know where I am, and so he's calling out to me, Mom, Mom. Okay, so R-E-S-T is a disruption to self-abandonment. And we were speaking before we got the recording going is that women in general, of course, men also self-abandon, but women are actually taught to self-abandon. Like, let that settle in your bones. We are taught, we are celebrated when we self-abandon. We are valued when we self-abandon. So that creates this very strange addictive tendency that trains the woman to seek ways to self-abandon because now we're getting that hit, that that value hit of dopamine, that oh, I feel needed, I feel wanted, oh, I matter because I am doing all of these things for the people that I love. This is insidious, and this is 100% of why I feel so connected to this practice because we get to disrupt that training. A woman's value is not based on making sure everyone around her is happy. And yet, this is the propaganda that is given to even small girls. We give them baby dolls so they can practice being mothers. We take them out of their autonomy by teaching them how to care. And this is just the way society is built. This is patriarchal. This is, and yada, yada, yada. I could go on and on and on in my soapbox. But we get to have an opportunity here to disrupt that. Okay. So I want to walk you through those practices. And then I want to just mention for those that came in a little bit late, we are recording this for the public. And so just letting you know if you don't want to be on video, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. But if you don't mind being on video when we get to that section, you're welcome to, but that will put you in the video. So just like you to know where your safety is. Okay. So R-E-S-T. It sounds like Aretha Franklin's version 2 of R-E-S-P-S-T. So the R is recognize. Recognize. It's very simple. Any development path is always going to start with awareness. If you cannot see it, you cannot shift it. Who's tired of hearing me say that? That is my number one slang phrase thing that I say forever. If you cannot see it, you cannot shift it. Truth. Because what it is, it's in your subconscious. It's in the pattern, mundane rut of unawareness. So we have to bring it forward and go, oh my God, am I doing that? Oh, wait, I think I might be doing that. Oh, crap, I see how I'm doing that. You've got to see it, right? And in that is an added invitation. When you start seeing it, you have to be kind to yourself about seeing it. Once you start seeing the things you want to shift, you cannot beat it up because that adds fuel to the fire of the fire you're trying to put out. So the invitation is once you start seeing it, got it. I see it. Deal. Not an added, I'm such a bad person. I can't believe I'm doing this, yada, yada, yada. So it's recognize. Recognize when you're self-abandoning. Now, this is where I'm going to add some real talk, okay? There's a possibility, maybe you or maybe whoever's listening to this later, you don't even resonate with this conversation. You're like, I don't do that. I just really care. I just really love my people. I just really blah, 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 right? You may not even recognize that you're self-abandoning because it has been so trained within us to look at that as a value. Now, here I come along going, actually, that's propaganda. That's not healthy. That's not sustainable. And so your protective system is going to want to push back against that. That's normal. So you may be at the stage where you're like, I don't think I do that. That's okay. So my invitation there is be open to the possibility that you just don't see it right now. It's okay. So even the first stage of recognize is being open to the possibility. I don't know if I do that. Just be open to the possibility, right? The next stage is in recognize. You probably get to a place where you're like, oh, maybe I am doing that. I do get really tired at the end of the day and I don't know how to say no. And, people do call me when there's a crisis. I'm the only one that they trust to take care of them. I might be self-abandoning, right? So that's the next stage of it. That possibility has turned into more probability. I probably am. I just don't know how to catch it. Now you move into the next stage of that rest where you will be 2 weeks down the road and you'll be thinking about a conversation you had with your friend right here. And you're going to go, oh my God, that's what that was. Way down the road, you're going to review. You know how we do, we have memory. Like, why did that feel so weird? Why, man, something felt off about that conversation. And you're way down and you're thinking about it. You're like, oh my God, I think that might be the self-abandonment. When you catch it, be kind that you caught it, not judge. You should have caught it faster. I know humans. That's exactly how you're gonna think of it. Oh my God, I can't believe I missed that. I'm so terrible. No, 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 no. Yay, I caught it. Oh my gosh, now I see it. Celebrate it. Because then you're 2 weeks down the road. If you practice more, now maybe you catch it a week and a half down the road. And I know humans, you're going to go, oh, I did it again. I missed it again. Got it. But look how much faster I caught it. Celebrate the time. You're shaving down your time. You're shaving the response time. Do you see that? You're not going to catch it, then you catch it faster and faster. Maybe then you're a week, and then a few days, and then maybe a few hours. And then next, you're in the freaking moment where you're like, oh my God, it's happening right before my eyes. That is my favorite moment. Because for me, when we can shave down our response and awareness time, and you're in the moment. Yes, I love that. I did it and knew immediately. Yes. I call it, I explain it like this, like you will see the words come out of your mouth. You will say the things that you know you don't want to say, and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing it. Don't touch it. Don't change it. Watch it. Watch what happens. When you catch the moment, come into the body and go, how does that feel when I do that? What's happening in my body when I do that? Because the body does not lie. The mind is going to try and negotiate why that was a good idea for you to do that. Well, that's your value. You don't want to disappoint them. They're going to be mad at you. You will have failed. The mind will lie because it's trying to keep the organism safe. Your body never lies. So if you see yourself do the thing and you come back in and you go, how does it feel? Well, my chest is really tight. I feel nauseated. And now I suddenly have like a spike in my head and a headache. Your body is saying, this does not work for me. So that's information that you're going to want. It's important information. So when you see it, don't change it. Don't interrupt it. Don't fix it. Don't clean it up. Watch it. That's the recognize. Okay? You have to see it to shift it. And that means in the moment when you're doing it. It's so fascinating. It's my favorite moment because it's one of the very last times you're going to do it. When you catch it to that degree, you're almost done with this process. You get that? That's celebrational. So that's why you'll always see me go, oh my God, you did it, because it's a big deal. Yeah. All right. So R, recognize. Oh my God, I just did that. When you leave, this is why, so self-abandonment. This is you literally leaving your body. You are leaving to care at the cost of your own well-being. You're saying yes when your body wants no. You're saying everything's fine when it's like, actually, I'm not fine. I will fix everything for you when you don't have the capacity. So you are abandoning your body. It is literal, not woo-woo. That's why it hurts the body. Your capacity is screaming, I don't have the bandwidth for this. And the mind is overriding that with, well, but you're going to disappoint them. And because of the training, we believe the mind and we disengage from the body. Okay. Breathing, we're going to pause. Whatever is coming up for you, whatever you're feeling, thank it. Thank it. Thank you. Thank you for that information. Because what you're feeling, how it's moving through you is truth. The mind is going to want to talk you out of it. The body is telling the truth. Okay. All right. E. Once we realize we've left, the very next step is come back. You're going to want to embody. Come back. That can look like a lot of different things, but we're going to focus on what is actually sustainable and healthy for you. Because we can get busy, we can get distracted, we can get uncomfortable and start cleaning the house. That's not technically coming back to yourself, it's just another form of disengaging. Or we can get on, social media and start scrolling. Like that, those are ways we kind of avoid the discomfort and do something else that is not sustainable. So what I see a lot of smiles. What I offer is something a little bit more doable, sustainable, and healthy. It's notice it and imagine you just left. However you want to imagine that. Sensation, visual, like I see my spirit walking across the room. Yeah, I'm great at rage cleaning, same, which is a trauma response, by the way, just like dropping that in there. I know, I hate it too. Imagine bringing your spirit back in, one pause, hands on chest or hands on belly, something that creates sensation. You can do light tapping, something that brings your attention down to the body, tapping the legs. You can wiggle your toes and scrunch them in the carpet. But this holding yourself, which is holding your vagus nerve, breathing down into the belly, and calling yourself back. That's the disruption. Oh, look, there I go. I don't want that. Let me come back. And it's simple, not easy, right? Simple, not easy. Oh, look, there I go. Here, let me come back. And so right now, take a moment and just take your awareness down into the body and feel the sensations that are moving in your body right now. Because I'm sensing that there's already some movement. There's already some ugh, yuck, right? Take a moment and then place your hand wherever that sensation is. If it's in the chest or the belly or like wherever you're feeling like some tightness, just like meet it and say, I'm here. I'm right here. Closing the eyes is really good because our eyes will go out if they're open. When you close them, they tend to go in. So we want to kind of hack the system that we are. When eyes are open, we tend to go out of our body because we're watching things. Closing the eyes helps you drop into where your hands go. So if you're holding your chest, your attention tends to drop into your chest. That's the disruption. So you've already disrupted self-abandonment. Okay. Yeah, just pausing and holding that for a second. So the math is really easy right there. You practice catching when you've left, and then you simply bring it back. Okay? Okay. And just letting you know for those that have just arrived, if you will stay on mute just for this moment, we're talking about some methodology. I am recording this video for public, and so when we get to the Q&A, if you have questions, you want to put it in the chat if you don't want to be on video. Just letting you know that. Okay, that's it. That's actually it. So you recognize that you self-abandoned and you're like, oh, I did that. Let me come back. And you've restabilized your body. You've restabilized your system. So S is stay. Because here's the hardest part. You know, I'm a full disclosure person. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you left your body, the reason you left your body is because something got triggered or activated, which means it was uncomfortable. We don't leave because things are good. We don't leave when we're happy and thriving and right. We generally leave, abandon our bodies when there's discomfort, when we're triggered or overwhelmed or whatever. So if you come back, what are you going to do? You're going to feel the reason you wanted to leave. You're going to come back to that discomfort. This is where most women go ahead and abandon again. This is why when we do get triggered, we rage clean. When we get triggered, we scroll. When we get triggered, we eat, right? There's all of those things. It's us leaving again, but in a way that we're in control of, right? We're choosing the way we leave. It's just, yeah, bake, exactly. When we get triggered, we do something that feels comforting because it's familiar, and there's a comfort because we're in control of it. I can control me scrolling on social media. I'm in control. It gives us a semblance of control, but it's still self-abandonment. It's okay, but just know that's what it is, right? So you leave. Oh gosh, I left. Let me come back. Let me breathe. Oh, wait. I realize now why I didn't want to be here. I'm going to go. That's the moment we will self-abandon again, instinctively, reactively. So when you're here and you're embodying and you're coming into the body and you're breathing, you hold this through the discomfort. Eventually, go back to the snow globe scenario, the snow globe gets shook, we're out. You come back, the snow globe's still shook. So you hold it until the snow starts to drift down and your nervous system starts to regulate, which means you have to be kind to yourself, turning eyes in. I've got you. This is okay. This is uncomfortable, but we're going to breathe through it. So you have to kind of coach yourself, right? Because again, the mind is going to want to get you out again. You have to be more clever than the most cleverest part of you. You have to take charge. This is okay. We're actually safe. If you feel unsafe and you're technically safe, it's really easy to just kind of like, this is one of the nervous system hacks that I love. If you feel unsafe in your environment, you can just very slowly start turning your eyes, looking at things that you love very slowly to the point where your peripheral can see behind you. You bring it back very slowly, looking at things you love, right? Because emotional connection matters. And then you start turning the other side until your peripheral sees behind you. This is an animalistic part of our amygdala that you want to see who's at your back. When you see there's nothing back there, then your nervous system starts regulating. And small caveat, if you are not safe, it is not a regulation issue. It is a boundary issue. So if you are technically not safe, then you have to step into, I need to create some boundaries in this moment. I need to leave, stand up for myself, whatever you need in the moment. So this is where I hear a lot of, how am I going to say this? Some spiritual and personal development spaces will put all of the responsibility on you. If you're unsafe, they may say, well, that's yours. You need to regulate. And no, if you're unsafe, get safe, right? It is your responsibility to get safe, but not by regulating your nervous system and sitting in the unsafe place. No, get safe. But if you're fine and you know that, then you can kind of tell your nervous system, no, we're actually okay. And you're just going to hold yourself until you're regulated, until that system starts relaxing a little bit. Okay. So that's the hardest part, is holding yourself while it's uncomfortable, which what's happening in the background is you are expanding your capacity. You are retraining your nervous system what safety is. So it's very valuable to hold it right there. It's uncomfortable AF, but discomfort does not equal danger. That's what your brain wants you to think. Your brain wants you to think, this is uncomfortable, we got to go, because it's just used to that self-abandonment. But we're trying to disrupt that. So just know that. Know that it's going to be uncomfortable. And this is why we tune into the body, because the body will start feeling better before the brain does. Your body doesn't lie, right? We just don't trust it. We've been taught, going back to how women have been taught to self-abandon, means we have to override the trust of our own bodies, when that's actually where the truth is. This is that insidious part, right? All the different spaces in the world, medical teaches us not to trust ourselves, right? Religion teaches us not to trust our own intuition, our own wisdom. We have to go to somebody else for the wisdom and the knowledge. There's so many different ways that disconnect the human from their own alignment. I could go on for days. Big soapbox for me. So this is the return to that trust. This is the cultivating of that trust, when you are able to hold it even when it's uncomfortable, knowing that you're safe but feeling discomfort. That's how you're returning back. You're cultivating the self-trust that it takes to hold yourself. So where this methodology is simple, it's big. This is why I said, if you did just this, how would your life shift? Gigantic. Okay, so S, stay. Just stay until you feel like you're back in your body. Because then T, which is trust, when you see that you left and you disrupt that and come back, and you hold yourself enough to stabilize that space, when you begin to move forward and you make a decision, or I'm going to go do that, or I'm not going to do that, you're coming from a place of alignment. You trust yourself, you trust your yes, and you trust your no, right? You've reset your system, and now you're not coming from that place of, oh, but I might disappoint them. You're coming from a place of, yeah, I can do that. Actually, I think I do have the capacity for that. You trust your yes and you trust your no. So you walk in the world clear and aligned and sovereign. Just letting everyone take a breath, everyone take a moment. And I think most of you know for the last 2, 3 years, I've been on the mission to find ways that are gentle, powerful, yet gentle, right? We again coming into this world of even the way we set our goals in this space is gentle. It's uncomfortable. And I have a whole conversation for that. Trust me, some amazing things are coming for this group. But everything is about disrupting the masculine way that we have all been indoctrinated in, where it has to be hard and has to be aggressive, and we gotta like, hunt and destroy the things that we don't want. No, we just simply disrupt them and stabilize the system to hold the new way. And that's actually very gentle, right? And that's how women's bodies are designed. I've been doing a lot of research around oxytocin versus dopamine. And dopamine is the reward drug, right? When we're right, we love dopamine. See, I told you this was going to happen. That's dopamine. In our ways of creating goals in the world, when we get the goal, that's dopamine in that masculine kind of competitive way. Women are more wired for oxytocin. Oxytocin is joy and pleasure. It's also connection. It's co-regulation. So this is what's so validating about our space is this is what I mean by the early days when we didn't know what we were doing. We were co-regulating and tapping into that oxytocin, which actually heals women's nervous systems more than dopamine. Co-regulation, connection with other women, connection with people. This is why we're natural nurturers. Our body relates and resonates more to oxytocin than it does dopamine. It's why we get overwhelmed and triggered when we try to set goals the masculine way of just pushing through and get the thing done and get the task, get the boxes ticked. It doesn't work for our system. As we go further, and I have more talks to have, more things to share with you, it's really starting to come into view. I see what we're doing here for the collective to be able to move forward in a way that's sustainable. It's not just words. It's really beautiful. So, R.E.S.T, recognize, embody, stay, trust. You take that on, just that. How would your life shift? And then this is where I want to go back to when I was saying recognize. Let's say you're 2 weeks down the road and you didn't catch it. Celebrate that you caught it 2 weeks down the road, because some of us never catch it. Some women die without even knowing they self-abandon. So let's celebrate that it just took you 2 weeks. Like, right? Let's put it in perspective. 2 weeks, so what? Yay. And then it's a week and a half, and then a week, and then 5 days, and then 3 days, and then the day, the moment, the second. Because then what happens is you're on the other side of it and you see it before it happens and you disrupt it and you don't do it. At some point you're at this experience of, oh my God, this would have been a moment where I would have abandoned. Look, I stayed. So you're shaving down the response time to where you no longer do it. And then you're 2 weeks down the road going, holy crap, that would have been one of those moments. Now your 2 weeks is on the other side of the point. You would have done it. You see what I mean? First you don't catch it, and then you're like, wait, I didn't even catch that would have been a moment, and I didn't self-abandon. Because now you've created a new normal for your system. You've retrained your nervous system. This is all just programming and training. So let's retrain. Let's reprogram. So take a nice big breath. Just take a moment. Because I have a little bit of an announcement. Number one, Malin, our AI system, is programmed and designed to support you through the REST methodology. So if you go to her and you say, I'm feeling really stuck, I'm recognizing self-abandonment, but I don't know how to come back. She's going to go, got it. Let's do this. Let's try this. Or you go to her and you say, I don't know if I'm self-abandoning. Maybe you're at the early stage of like, I don't know. Morgan said I might be, but I don't know if I am. She's going to ask you some questions to help you identify those possibilities, right? So know that is there. That is what she is there for, is to help us through these methodologies that we hold in her sovereign way. And I've written a workbook, a companion workbook for REST methodology that moves you not only through, let's see, what's the section 1 is going to be education, terminology, the seduction of self-abandonment, and the cost of self-abandonment. So if you're one of the people listening and you're like, I don't know if I do that, you're going to be able to see yourself in that section, because that's entirely what it's for, is to identify the possibility that you might be, right? Because you've got to see it to shift it. Can't shift it if you can't see it. And I'm going to be very, very bold right now, and I'm going to say every woman self-abandons until she realizes it and can no longer self-abandon. Every woman has either done it, is doing it, or has healed and no longer does it. Everyone, because that is the world we live in. So I'm just going to go ahead and be bold enough to just like 100% of the time, 100% of the women on this planet do it until they learn and heal and no longer do it. So if you're a woman listening to this and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to do that. Yeah, but you don't do it anymore. So there is a possibility of not doing it anymore. And then two, I want to just add a little bit of like permission. Your nervous system is designed to protect you. So even if you are amongst the women that have healed that part of you and you no longer do it, you still do it. Because the nervous system is designed to do it that way. The problem is we have relied on it for far too long, and so it's just the habit. It's a really lax habit. So technically, you are supposed to self-abandon when your nervous system gets flooded, but every now and then. It's designed to protect you, so it will push you out when things get flooded and overwhelmed. Like that's what dissociation is. Like the nth degree of self-abandonment is dissociation. And I'm a dissociator. I will always be dissociative. I do it maybe twice a year now, as opposed to every other week, or however often I was doing it before I even realized I was doing it. So for me, it's the same conversation. I didn't even know I dissociated until I realized it, and then it would be a month later. Oh my God, I think that's what that was. And now I'm to the point where I can actually see myself dissociating, and I let it and I appreciate it because something is probably going on and I need a minute to just think about it. So again, this is a conversation of there's no perfection and you're not broken. You're not fixing anything. This is not something to fix. This is a really bad habit that has been propagated by society to teach women how to discount their intuition and their wisdom. So we're creating a sustainable way to stay connected to that. But every now and then you probably will abandon yourself. The key around that is being kind about it and just come back. Okay? I just wanted to level set expectations so that you don't get down the road and go, I'm still doing it. Yeah, every now and then you will. But I bet you see when you do it, because that's actually the key. Seeing it and then bringing it back, okay? Section 2 is going to be the framework and the neuroscience, and then the actual method. Okay. Section 3 is, and this is really, really important. Section 3 is about the looking back and noticing when you have done it. Section 4 is practicing it in the moment. And then section 5 is the moving forward and making the changes and disrupting it sooner. So everything that we talked about, shaving your time down, those are those 3 sections. So it is a companion workbook to everything that we're talking about today so that you have something to refer to. And those of you, remember back when I made the announcement of last week's call, and I said, whoever is on that call is going to get a very special gift. When I publish this workbook, I'm sending it to you. So Laura Mansfield, Sarah Hankins, Sarah Thorman, Deborah Mansfield, Amy Kilborn, you guys are going to get a copy of that workbook. Yes, as my gift for being at the call last week. Take a nice big breath. Take a nice big breath. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to start the recording just for our community. And so in this moment, I just want to say to anyone listening to the recording who maybe is not a member of Her Sovereign Way yet, if you are interested in more information, just get with me. I will put links below this video so that you can do research and look into it for yourself. But if there's ever any questions, just know that I'm available. And we would love to have you. I know what we're building here, and I think I know it even more so today than I did last week. So I'm really excited about our trajectory and how this is shaping up. And we'd love to have you. Period. Okay, I'm going to stop this.